الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أهلا وسهلا مرحبا. Welcome everyone to our last lecture for level 2 and المستوى الأول or the first few set of books of this book العربية بين يديك. Inshallah, after today's lecture we're going to go on to the green books inshallah and finish the orange books today. Like I said in the group, next week inshallah it's revision بإذن and so alhamdulillah, well done for sticking around to the end. The end is near for this course, and inshallah you'll have enough time بإذن to revise and perfect and get ready for the final exam بإذن inshallah it's revision بإذن and so alhamdulillah, let me close that. Okay. Right, so today, like always, it's all about practice. Tuesday's lecture. So, very first thing we're going to do obviously is WooClap. Send you the link, and then you're going to be writing sentences, and then we will comment on those sentences. Then we'll probably do some Quizlet competitions and also a quizzes competition like promised. Right. This is lecture 16. Right. You'll find the link in the Zoom chat. Okay, seems like I'm on the wrong mic. Let me double check. Yes, I am. That should be the correct mic. Okay, that should be a correct mic. Okay, I'm sure the sound is better now. Okay, join WooClap, please. First thing we're going to talk about is, let's make some sentences, inshallah. Let's make our own sentences. So here we have the categorized vocabulary list, and this week we have 4 categories only. The vocabulary for this week weren't that many. We have verbs such as يسافر يعطي يقترب يرى يحج and يساعد. We have persons or people, أبناء فقراء شخص أهل فريق جوالة. We have places, مزرعة النهر عاصمة جبال مكتبات متاحف, and we have other things like عيد أضحية بالجو بالبحر. Okay, so these words you can just use them to supercharge your sentence. So let me make you the samples sentence inshallah. Let's say يسافر أهل محمد إلى العاصمة أو إلى عاصمة المملكة العربية السعودية أو إلى العاصمة الرياض بالجو يوم العيد. Okay, يوم العيد. So you can do something like that inshallah. Okay, so let me post the first question in WooClap, and then obviously based on the sentences that you make we will make necessary corrections inshallah. Okay, so make your own sentence. Then let's open this in split view. There you go, those are the words, and that's WooClap. Let's see what we get. So you write the sentence inshallah. I'm just quickly gonna grab myself some water. I'll be back in 1 minute, so I'll continue writing the sentence inshallah. Bismillah. Can't see any sentences yet. Everyone's still writing? Do you have the correct link? Is everyone there? Can I be heard? There's no sentences yet. Please let me know in the chat what's happening. Please post link again. Okay. There's the link. Okay, someone said يعطي. Okay, sentences are coming in now, mashallah, thick and fast. يعطي سعيد زكاة الفطر للفقراء. I think this meant to be يوم عيد الفطر. Okay, mashallah. The better you guys get, the less I've got to correct. Try and make your sentence as long as possible. يسافر أبناء بالجو. Okay, this one over here, there is cause for concern. يسافر أبناء بالجو. We'll talk about that in a moment. يسافر أحمد إلى الجزائر على يوم العيد. Okay, so I'll post that one as well. So far we have these two sentences that there are mistakes in these two sentences, okay? Or, sorry, should I say learning opportunities. شخص مسافر يرى أهل العاصمة يكرهون الجو البارد. يرى أهل العاصمة يكرهون الجو البارد. This should be شخص مسافر. Okay, no problem. يرى أن أهل العاصمة يكرهون الجو البارد. يرى أن أهل العاصمة يكرهون الجو البارد. Why is that? Because, well, it's very advanced grammar. Just let's leave it at that before I confuse other people. But it should be يرى أن أهل العاصمة يكرهون الجو البارد. طيب. Regarding the other two mistakes that were made with the other two sentences, then we have the first one was, or the second was يسافر أحمد إلى الجزائر على يوم العيد. This actually, the mistake I suppose is quite obvious. We'll come back to this clap question. Let me just close it for a moment so that. Or actually, you can just post it in the Zoom chat text. Tell me what's wrong with this sentence. شخص يسافر أحمد إلى الجزائر على يوم العيد. What's wrong with that sentence? Just type in the Zoom chat, inshallah, so that we can keep this up. What's wrong with the حرف الجر? Okay, so على يوم العيد is wrong. It should be في يوم العيد. Okay, يسافر أحمد إلى الجزائر في يوم العيد. Or you can say يوم العيد. You can make it ظرف, because the ظرف is similar to saying في. Okay, so you can say, for example, أسافر في الليل. Okay, or you could say أسافر ليلا. Same thing here. You could say يسافر أحمد إلى الجزائر يوم العيد, or يسافر أحمد إلى الجزائر في يوم العيد. But you can't say على. You can't say على يوم العيد, upon the day of Eid. لا. On the day of Eid. Now this is what I would consider to be a proper literal translation. يعني on the day of Eid, على could mean on sometimes. But like I said many times before, the huruf in the Arabic language have got their own meanings. They don't have a fixed meaning. Don't think that ala always means on or upon. Don't think that fi always means in. Okay? Don't think that min always means from. لا. That's not the case. Okay? Fi in the Arabic language is normally used for places and times. ظرف. If it's ظرف, they use fi. So in other words, if the answer is when, if the question could be when or where, then use fi. Because in Arabic language, when and where, place and location is like containers in which the verb takes place. So in which container did yusafiru take place? In the container of Yawm al-Eid. So that basically means, did he travel the day before Eid? No. Did he travel the day after Eid? No. He traveled in the day of Eid. That's the container, if you like, in which the verb took place. Okay? Same thing with ظرف مكان. For example, if you want to say يصلي محمد في المسجد, Muhammad is praying in the mosque. That's where the verb took place, like a container. It happened within that. So did he pray outside the masjid? No. Did he pray on top of the masjid? No. Did he pray underneath the masjid? No. He prayed in the masjid. Okay? So fi is used for ظرف zaman and ظرف makan. Not ala. Not ala. Okay? يسافر ابني إلى العاصمة لعيد. لا, this is not correct. Why? Who can tell us? There's a mistake here. يسافر أهل الشخص. أهل من? What is this? I don't know how to pronounce this. إلى مزرعة بعيد عن المدينتهم يوم العيد للهدي. Okay. Okay. First form was للهدي. The alif shouldn't be written there. It should just be two lambs, no alif in between. Okay, so the alif kind of like disappears when you have lam followed by alif lam. The alif disappears. But there are some other mistakes here. Okay, but we were here. يسافر ابني إلى العاصمة لعيد. ابني, okay, with the ya, and للعيد. Now this should be للعيد. It should have alif lam. Because you're saying my son is going to travel to the Asima, the capital, on a Eid. Which Eid? Or for a Eid. Which Eid? Okay, this is very, very vague. Okay? So you have to say Lil Eid. For Eid, again, one of those typical, like I said, situations whereby if the is not present in the English language, we tend to get rid of the alif lam. But I said last week, I told you, if anything, just consider the alif lam to be the default. Okay? And do not get rid of the alif lam unless the English meaning is similar to indefinite article, i.e. a. And you want to keep it indefinite. You want to keep it something that is indefinite, not definite. واضح? So it's kind of like the exact opposite of English in that regard. And that's why you find Arabs, when they speak English, they put the everywhere. Because that's how their language is. Okay, so they would say, an Arab would typically say, my son will travel to the capital for the Eid. صح ولا لا? 100%. If you find someone whose native tongue is Arabic and who's not yet a native English speaker, I guarantee you he will say, my son will travel to the capital for the Eid. You ever asked yourself, why does he say for the Eid? Why doesn't he just say for Eid? Because in his language, it is lil Eid, is with alif lam. Because that's the default in their language. The default in their language is you got alif lam everywhere, for the most part. Unless you want something to be indefinite, then you get rid of it. Whereas in English, the English is opposite. The English is opposite. We use the when we have to. When we really have to use the. Otherwise, we don't use the. So when you say, for example, my son will travel to the capital for Eid, خلاص, we know which Eid you're talking about. You don't need to say for the Eid. Okay? And if you want to make it indefinite, you would say for a Eid. Or an Eid. Okay? Whatever. Depending on if the ayn is considered to be a vowel or not. For a Eid. Okay? If you wanted it to be indefinite, you would come with the indefinite article. واضح? So again, if in Arabic you get rid of the alif lam, you're making the word indefinite automatically. So be careful. Be careful. And I'm sure this mistake will come back many, many times. يسافر أهل something, I don't know what this is, إلى مزرعة بعيد. عن المدينتهم يوم العيد للهدي. Apart from للهدي, which is a spelling mistake, there are two, if you like, major grammar mistakes here. Things that we have covered many times before, recurring mistakes, which is no problem. We're here to learn, and we're here to learn from our mistakes. So I expect these mistakes to come back many times. Okay, who can tell us what those mistakes are? Well, I'll help you out. There's a mushkila here. And here there's also a mushkila. Can't have al and dhamir in the same word. Yes, you can. Why not? 1 minute. Can you? Well, no, yeah, true. You can't have al and dhamir in the same word, specifically if the dhamir is mudaf ilayh. But that's not, the way you're putting it is kind of like wrong. It's not that you can't have al and a dhamir, you can't have them in the same word. Rather, it's because the mudaf can't have an al, because the mudaf is already ma'rifah. That's the actual reason. Okay? But the way you're putting it's kind of like a result of that. Okay? Because if the dhamir is going to be mudaf ilayh, what comes before it is mudaf, and the dhamir is always ma'rifah, dhamir is always definite. So you have the other word is going to be mudaf to the dhamir, then obviously you can't have al because already definite. So when you say kitabuhu madinatihim, if you say, for example, هذا قلمه, then you can't put alif lam. You can't say qalamuhu. You can't say that, because the fact that it's mudaf to something that is definite makes the word already definite. So you can't have an alif lam on top of that as well. واضح? Because ضمير and al are both definite. نعم. And the other one is بعيدة. نعم أحسنت. بعيدة, agreement. مزرعة, feminine. بعيدة, not بعيد. Okay? عن مدينتهم, not عن المدينتهم. مدينتهم, without the alif lam. يوم العيد, like we said, للهدي, without the alif. You would write it like that. So that's just a general ruling. Okay? Remember that. Any word, right, that has alif lam, let's say al-bayt. Okay, let's say you want to add li, which just means the, okay, plus a word that starts with alif lam. Okay, you're not going to write lam, alif, lam. You're not going to write that, even though that's what it should be. You're not going to write that. Instead, you get rid of the alif, so it becomes واضح. واضح. If you want a perfect example that you will never forget, li, okay, it means for. Allah becomes what? Lillah. It becomes lillah. It does not become let's do this. It does not become li. It does not become that. Okay? Which would literally be, as you can see, a lam followed by Allah. That's how it's meant to be. Right? But that's not how it becomes. Okay? That's not how it becomes. Instead, this alif, we get rid of it so that it becomes like this. Now, well, it should have been like this actually, 3 lambs, but then this lamb got rid of as well. So maybe this is not a good example because there's 2 rules here. Okay, so let's just say instead of Allah, let's say Ar-Rasul, and let's say An-Nabi, so you don't get confused. It becomes Lin-Nabi. Okay, طيب واضح. Then we have يسافر أهله. طيب يذهب أحمد إلى القرية ليساعد أبوك في المزرعة. ليساعد أباك. We haven't done that yet, but ليساعد أباك في المزرعة. الشخص يساعد الفقراء. Wow, الشخص يساعد الفقراء. It sounds a bit vague. The person is helping. Okay, it's okay. I mean, grammatically it's fine. Grammatically it's fine. In terms of balagha, in terms of meaning, doesn't make much sense. But grammatically it's perfectly fine. this is مبتدأ and it's معرفة, it's okay. يساعد الفقراء فاعل مفعول به, well done. Okay. يسافر حامد إلى ألمانيا مع فريقه ليرى الجبال. مع فريقه with his group. نعم. طيب. Even that sounds a bit vague as well, but it's fine. فريقه, فريق what? Football team? Which team? Which team يعني? طيب. اقتربت الساعة أيام الحج. الله. Okay. Welcome to this. ويساعد محمود صديقه وأبناءه في رحلة الحج. وصلوا في السعودية يوم السبت. سيحجون بعد قليل أيام إن شاء الله. طيب. Alright. اقتربت الساعة يوم الحج. I can assume that what you mean by this is the time for the days of Hajj is close. But you don't use الساعة here. You don't use الساعة here. Because this literally sounds like, or it means, the hour of the day of Hajj is close. So Allah says, اقتربت الساعة وانشق القمر. The hour is close. So الساعة in the Arabic language, like that, when you make it ma'rifah with the alif lam, you're talking about the last hour. Okay? Unless you add something to الساعة that defines it. Like الساعة الثامنة, the 8th hour. Okay, now you're not talking about the last hour. Okay? ساعة المعلم. Or that wouldn't have alif lam anyway. Unless you add some kind of adjective to الساعة that it doesn't become the last hour, then that's fine. But when you say something like اقتربت الساعة, انتظروا الساعة, it means you're waiting the last hour. اقتربت الساعة means the last hour has come near. Okay? You might think that this means the time for أيام الحج came near. لا. الساعة in the Arabic language means hour, not time. واضح? Don't mix things up. Instead, time means زمن, عصر. Those things mean time. So اقترب زمن أيام الحج. Great. The time for the days of Hajj, even though that's a bit redundant, because أيام is also a unit of time. It's a bit redundant to say the time for the days of Hajj is close. It's a bit redundant. You'd say the days of Hajj are close. اقتربت أيام الحج. خلاص. But even if you wanted to use this word of the time for the days of Hajj is close, then you would say اقترب زمن أيام الحج. But for you to say اقتربت الساعة or ساعة أيام الحج, لا. ساعة in Arabic means hour. So how can you say the hour for the days of Hajj is close? How? Yani hour and days are two different units of time. How can you use both of them at the same time? It doesn't make sense. Okay, so sa'a is a unit of time. Okay, it doesn't mean time. Time means zaman. واضح? Okay, then you said ويساعد محمود صديقه وأبناءه في رحلة الحج. ممتاز. Beautiful. وصلوا في السعودية. لا. وصلوا إلى السعودية. Again, it's one of those things that we talked about many times whereby you have verbs that go together with certain حروف الجر. To arrive means وصل إلى. Always. If you want to have the meaning of to arrive, you say وصل إلى. Okay? Without the fi, you could have other meanings. Okay? But for this one, وصل, okay, means you say وصل إلى if you mean to arrive. If you don't use إلى, you just say وصله, it means he connected it. That's a different meaning. Okay? So again, like I said before, these verbs and the huruf al-jar that come with it, they give you different meanings. Completely different dictionary meanings in the English language. In Arabic, it's just a combination of a verb and a harf al-jar gives you a specific meaning. Whereas in English, that would be a completely different dictionary meaning. Like for example, qama or aqama means to establish. Sah? Or qama means to stand up. Qama means to stand up. Qama bi means to do. نعم. قمت بالواجب. I did the homework. I did the wajib. قام محمد. Muhammad stood up. Two different meanings. And the mean difference is only the harf jar that we've used. Okay? قام على means to supervise. قام على means to supervise. قام بي means to do. قام by itself means to stand up. واضح? This is something that people they overlook. But this is wallahi, it's not something that you sit down and then you memorize their combinations. لا. This is something you will only ever gain by just reading a lot and listening a lot. Wallah. If you say to someone, give me a list of the different meanings that I can make with qama using different huruf al-jar, you'd be crazy. It's like saying to someone, when you have a word in the English language, give me all the dictionary meanings for this word. La, if you go to a dictionary, it's going to give you what? It's going to give you 5, 6, 7, 8 different definitions. Okay? And I think a lot of people, they don't know how dictionaries work. Wallahi. A lot of people, they've got a wrong impression of what a dictionary is. A dictionary does not stipulate what a meaning is. All a dictionary does is it brings together the usages of the people for this word. How do people use this word? For what kind of meanings do people use this word? So when people, they write dictionaries, it's not, I mean, in this day and age, it's not a group of people sitting around a table making decisions, saying, okay, this word should mean X, Y, and Z. La. This day and age, what they use corpuses, something called a corpus. Basically, they get a large data set, a big database of natural speech, newspapers, books, movies, the transcriptions of movies. They bring all of this together, then they throw it into this computer, and then the computer looks at, it brings together this word and all these different contexts. Then they go over those contexts and they see if they can find patterns. Okay, and then they're like, okay, this word has been used this, like this, like that. So the same thing, the point I'm trying to make is here, even here, if someone says to Ustad, how am I going to know that qama bi means to do, qama ala means to supervise, qama means to stand up, how am I going to know? I'll say to you, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay? Just learn what qama means by itself. When you see qama bi a couple of times, and you will understand what the meaning is by way of context, eventually you'll remember. And that's how you learn languages anyway. Learning a language is nothing but exposing yourself to the language, immersing yourself in the language, and you leave the connection making to your brain. Your brain does that. It's an absolute master at that, the way Allah has created it. Your brain will make the connections. Your brain will remember. Your brain will be like, okay, wait a minute, I saw qama bi in this context. I saw qama bi in that context. What do these two contexts have in common? They both have this in common. Okay, qama bi must mean that. Your brain does it automatically, subhanAllah, without you even thinking about it subconsciously. So you don't need to worry about it. All you need to do is just immerse yourself in the language, and that will happen in the background. Okay? ويساعد محمود صديقه أبناءه في رحلة الحج وصلوا إلى السعودية يوم السبت سيحجون بعد قليل أيام. That doesn't sound right. Either you say سيحجون بعد قليل, they will do Hajj after a little while, or you could say سيحجون بعد أيام, they will do Hajj after some days. بعد قليل أيام doesn't sound right. If you are going to use this, you want to mention that these days are going to be very numbered, then you would say سيحجون بعد قليل من الأيام. بعد قليل من الأيام. أو بعد أيام قليلة. بعد أيام قليلة. لكن بعد قليل أيام, it just doesn't sound right. Okay? Okay, I think we'll go on to the next one, unless we can find here amazing learning opportunity. أزور مع صديقي إلى مزرعته في يوم العيد. هناك تمر كثيرة وخروف للأضحية. Few mistakes there in the جمع. ينهر الجوال الأضحية على الجبل مع فريقه بعد صلاة العيد الأضحى. Okay, here we have a mistake in what? Sound recognition. And I know what you mean, because I know English. Okay? And I know which letters, English language, which letters and which sounds English language speakers struggle with. I guarantee you, you put this question across to a native Arab who doesn't know English, and he will be absolutely confused. Okay? Because yanhar means to tell off. Okay? So you're basically saying that the Jawala, the roamers or the hikers, they are telling the udhiyah, the sacrificed animal, they're telling it off, like literally shouting at it. Why did you do this? Don't do this. هذا هو النهر. To tell someone off. Okay? And I remember when we did the Arabic conversational course, kickoff, one of the first lectures when we talked about Arabic and how to learn Arabic, and we tried to give examples for the importance of sound recognition and knowing the difference between ha and ha, ayn and hamza. We actually gave an example that used this word. Okay? The example was سهر محمد الليلة فنهره أباه. فنهره أباه. Muhammad سهر الليلة, he stayed up at night. فنهره أباه, or فنهره أبوه. Okay? Muhammad stayed up at night, so his father told him off. فنهره أبوه. واضح? So he stayed up, سهر, ساهر, يسهر means to stay up late at night. Muhammad, الليلة, the night. فنهره, so his father told him off, أبوه. طيب, if you mix up the ha and the hain in this sentence and you mispronounce it or you mishear it, maybe someone said سهر محمد الليلة فنهره أبوه and you heard a ha instead of a ha, just like in this example, then the meaning would be سحر محمد الليلة فنحره أبوه. It would mean Muhammad put sorcery on the night, or Muhammad put sorcery on Layla. Layla is actually a girl's name as well. So Muhammad done magic on Layla, or done magic on the night, so his father slaughtered him. You see the difference between two sentences? That's the same thing here. Basically, you said here that the roamers and the hikers, they told the udhiyah off on the mountain. Okay? With their group after Salat Eid al-Adha. Instead of slaughtering it, they're telling you off. What's wrong with you? Why'd you go up the mountain? Who are you trying to run away from? Okay? So, that's a good learning opportunity. ممتاز. يقترب عيد الأضحى فيذهب الأبناء إلى المدينة المنورة. سأسافر إلى مصر لزيارة صديقات يسكن في عين شمس. طيب, يقترب الفقراء إلى العالم لطلب العلم لأن العلم نور وأنه غال من كل شيء. أغلى, not غال من كل شيء, أغلى من كل شيء, لأن العلم نور وأغلى من كل شيء. طيب, قرب نهر لشرب الماء. لا, that doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. I don't even know if this is a verb or a thingy. Anyway, a lot of learning examples here. Learning opportunities, sorry. But we also have some other things to do, so we'll suffice with that, inshallah. طيب. Here we have some speaking prompts. So I want you to make a sentence or a paragraph using these prompts, inshallah. Okay? So let's open this one, split to you. Actually, where is the cool clap? Okay, what happened here? Let's go back. Here we are. Okay, so let's go to this. So here I want you to make sentence using the speaking prompts. So same thing as before, just this time round. You're going to be using these speaking prompts, inshallah. Open the split view. There we go. Okay. So we have, you could talk about your most recent trip. Ask someone about their most recent trip. Talk about the activities that can be done on different trips. talk about the Islamic holidays of Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha. What do you do on Eid al-Adha? What do you do on Eid al-Fitr? So these are all speaking prompts that are related to this week's theme. So write us a sentence, inshallah. Or even a paragraph. Let's see, we got some. There's one here. ذهبت إلى لندن ولعبت مع ابن عمي وأكلت البيتزا وأيضا شربت المياه الغازية. جيد، ممتاز. But like I said before, please try to actually no, we're doing the speaking prompts. Yeah, we're not doing the words. أحسنت. So this is basically talking about your most recent trip. You went to London, you played with your Ibn Ammi, with your cousin, you ate some pizza, you also drank some fizzy drinks. ممتاز. Can't see any mistakes in this. أحسنت. Let's wait for some more submissions, inshallah. طيب. Got some more. You have here يوم العيد أزور أسرتي وأصدقائي وآكل أكثر أن يجب. يعني أكثر من الواجب، يعني آكل أكثر من الواجب، not أكثر أن يجب. طيب. ذهبت إلى لندن، فقد النون درستها، ولعبت مع بنت عمي وأكلت البيتزا والناشوز وأكلت الآيس كريم. طيب. شوي took inspiration from the previous ما شاء الله sentence. في كل عيد الأضحى نذهب إلى المزرعة لنضحي. أحسنت. Very good for coming up with that verb. So نضحي means to slaughter the أضحية. So it's one of those verbs that are directly taken from the noun. Okay, ضحى يضحي means to slaughter. بعد ذلك نزور أهلنا وأصدقاءنا ونحن نشعر بالسرور. هذا من الفضل لله. لا، هذا من فضل الله. Usually you can say هذا من الفضل لله, but it's better to say هذا من فضل الله. أحسنت. ونحن نشعر بالسرور. ما شاء الله. يا أستاذ ما رأيك عن الرحلة مع جميع الطلاب في هذا الفصل إلى مكة المكرمة؟ الله أكبر، هذا رأي سديد، رأي جميل. ما رأيك عن رحلة؟ don't say الرحلة because you're talking as if the رحلة is known, as if it's definite. لا, you're talking about something that's indefinite now, it's just an idea. يا أستاذ ما رأيك عن رحلة, not عن الرحلة, عن رحلة. What do you think about a trip with the students, not with about the trip with the students? Again, you see, if you even think in English, it doesn't make sense to say, what do you think about the trip with the students? When you say the trip, it sounds like you're talking about a trip that's already known, they already agreed on, when it's just an idea. So it has to be indefinite. ما رأيك عن رحلة مع جميع الطلاب في هذا الفصل إلى مكة المكرمة؟ سنذهب ونعتمر وندرس في حلقات العلمية. في حلقات علمية, not حلقات العلمية. Okay, حلقات, what kind of حلقات؟ علمية. Okay, في حلقات علمية. أو من الممكن أن نجمع لآخر, قصدك أن نجتمع, which means to come together. There's a difference between اجتمع and جمع. There's a big difference. They're two different verbs. جمع means to gather, يعني to bring something together. اجتمع means to come together. واضح؟ So you should say أو من الممكن أن نجتمع, that we come together لآخر أيام في شهر رمضان, أو أن نجتمع في الأيام الأخيرة من شهر رمضان. أوكي؟ لأن نجتمع في أو نجتمع للأيام أو أيام الأواخر من شهر رمضان ونقضي العيد معا. We'll spend Eid together. هل لديك العطلة من الجامعة؟ نسي العطلة, هل لديك عطلة من الجامعة؟ نعم, لدي عطلة من الجامعة, وهذا رأي سديد ورأي جميل. أرحب بكم جميعا, وبإذن الله الكريم سأقضي رمضان في مكة بحول الله وقوته. أنا أريد يعني أخطط, يعني I plan أن أقضي رمضان في مكة المكرمة. فمن منكم يأتي إلى مكة في رمضان سنقضي العيد معا, وسنقضي أيام الأخيرة من رمضان معا في مكة المكرمة. أهلا وسهلا بكم وحياكم الله جميعا. Sorry, question from previous. To say قليل من أيام is to do the meaning البعضية. نعم. This part of structuring a sentence in Arabic because it doesn't make sense to remove the min, right? مفيد جدا, جزاك الله خير. Yeah, so if you say قليل أيام, doesn't make sense. يعني قليل يعني it means بعضية, يعني little of what? Of days. يعني a few days basically. I hope I got your question. سأسافر إلى بلدي على الرحلة القادم. لا, ليس على الرحلة, في الرحلة القادمة. And here we have a agreement problem. رحلة قادمة, not قادم. سأسافر إلى بلدي في الرحلة القادمة, not على الرحلة القادمة. Unless you mean بالرحلة, you literally mean the plane trip itself. So you can be على الرحلة as in the plane trip. Sometimes they do say على الرحلة. Okay. سأقضي هناك للعيد الأضحى. سأقضي العيد الأضحى هناك, أو سأقضي هناك عيد الأضحى. First and foremost, you don't need to say لل. Don't need to say لل. Okay. Secondly, you don't say العيد الأضحى. Why? Who can tell us? يلا, let's see. This is one of those questions. Tell us in the chat. Why is العيد الأضحى wrong, but عيد الأضحى correct? Why can't we say العيد الأضحى, but we can say عيد الأضحى? سنذبح الهدي مع أبي. طيب, يلا, why can we not say العيد الأضحى, rather we say عيد الأضحى? مضاف إليه. نعم. Okay. Al cannot have مضاف. Okay, so you're saying عيد الأضحى should be مضاف إليه. Okay, if we add an al, what does it become? If we say Al-Eid al-Adha, okay, it's not mudaf ilayh anymore. I agree with you. Because the mudaf can't have a alif lam. Right? If it's already mudaf to something that's definite. But what does it become? Sifa, ahsant. So if we say Al-Eid al-Adha, then al-Adha becomes an adjective for al-Eid. But that's not the case. Yani Adha is related to the Udhiyah, the Eid of Adahi, of slaughtering. صح? So unless you're trying to say the slaughtered Eid, you can't say Al-Eid al-Adha. Okay? Okay? Rather the Eid of Adha. Yani as opposed to the Eid of Fitr. And I've told you guys many times before that the purpose of mudaf ilayh. Remember, why do we do mudaf ilayh? We do mudaf ilayh in order to define something, in order to differentiate something, in order to ascribe something to something else, so that we set it apart from something else. So for example, kitab, book, right? How many books are there in the world? All these are books. All of these are books. صح? So if I say kitabun, you're going to be like, which book? If I say al-kitab, you're still going to say which book? صح? So if I want to talk about the Quran, yes, what would I do in order to tell you that I'm talking about the Quran? I would say kitabullah. Because a lot of people, they think that we use mudaf ilayh in order to establish possession. That's not the case. We don't use mudaf ilayh, yes, specifically for the most part to establish connection or to establish possession. Okay? If I want to establish possession, yes, then na'am, I can say, if this is my book, I can say hada kitabu Muhammad. Okay? Which means this is Muhammad's book, right? Alright? But that would not necessarily, or that's not the best way to establish that I own the book. If you want to say that I own the book, then you should say something like هذا الكتاب لمحمد. This book is for Muhammad, or لام التمليك, it belongs to Muhammad. واضح? Do you understand? But when you say هذا كتاب محمد, نعم, you established possession in a way. صح? I'll give you an example. How mudaf ilayh doesn't always mean possession at all. If I say هذا أبو إبراهيم, am I now saying that in order to establish that a possession? يعني I'm the father of Ibrahim. يعني Ibrahim owns me يعني. Does that make sense? هذه أم مريم. This is Maryam's mother. يعني is it because Maryam owns her mother? لا. Is it because there's possession? لا. Rather you say هذا أبو إبراهيم as opposed to هذا أبو محمد. هذا أبو خالد. How many fathers are there in the world? So many fathers in the world. صح? So this in Arabic is called قيد. Okay? That when you have something that is general, it's open, it can apply to anyone, but then you restrict it, that's called qaid. So the mudaf ilayh for the most part is used as a qaid. Okay, please remember this. So that's why we can't say al-Eid al-Adha, because that would be an adjective, would be a description. Okay, then somebody might say, okay, why do we say Eid al-Adha? We say Eid al-Adha because that way you know which Eid we're talking about. Because Eid al-Adha is different from Eid al-Fitr. واضح? So probably mudaf ilayh in that sense is better to translate it as the Eid of Adha or the Eid of Fitr. Okay, as opposed to Al-Adha's Eid. Okay, you see, because again, sometimes when possession makes sense, then we say it like that. Okay, we say it like that. But Eid al-Adha, you can say the Eid of Adha, or you can also say Al-Adha's Eid. But it doesn't make sense, does it? Because now Al-Adha sounds like it's a person. صح? You know that Al-Adha kind of... Anyway, long story short, Eid al-Adha, mudaf ilayh. Why do you say Eid al-Adha? Because if we say Eidun only like that, is indefinite. We don't know what you're talking about. We can't say Al-Eid, the Eid, because someone will say, which Eid? You're saying the Eid, which Eid? There's two Eids. We can't say Eidun, that's also the same problem. So we say Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr in order to differentiate between the two. Okay? So if I say to you, for example, سافرت إلى بريطانيا في العيد. Yes? Then automatically that is going to mean Eid al-Adha. Not Eid al-Fitr. Who knows why? Because it will return back to the closest thing, the most obvious thing. Okay, which is Eid al-Adha. You see? So that's why when you use Al, you use Alif Lam, the person's mind will go to the closest thing. So there is two Eids, right? In Islam. خلاص. The closest thing that I think of then when you say to me Al-Eid, I'm going to think about Eid al-Adha. So if you want me to think of Eid al-Fitr, then you have to specify. You have to say Eid al-Fitr. Don't say Al-Eid, because now you left the door open. And likewise, if I say to you سافرت إلى لندن العيد في العيد, you can understand it differently depending on the person who's speaking to you. Someone who's practicing, someone who upholds Islamic values, says Al-Eid, you're going to know it's Eid al-Adha or Eid al-Fitr, صح? But someone who doesn't, then you still don't know. Now you're really confused. Because non-Muslims or Muslims that don't really practice their religion the way they should, how many Eids have they? You have Eid Mother's Day, Eid al-Ab, Father's Day, Eid Halloween, Eid. So if you say Safartu fil Eid, it's going to be like, oh, which Eid? You're talking about the most recent one? Or even if you're not practicing the Sunnah, maybe you mean Eid Miladun Nabi, as in Eid, as in Miladun Nabi. So it's going to be very confusing. So that's why we use Mudaf ilayh. They say Eid al-Ab, Eid al to differentiate between the two. واضح? So I find that a lot of people, they don't really understand what Mudaf ilayh is. And the reason they don't understand it is because people that teach grammar, they completely mistranslate it. They say to you Mudaf ilayh, they say the possessor and the possessed. Wallahi, some books. The possessor and the possessed. Your mind might go to jinn or something. What? The possessor, what? Who's possessed? You know? So, some, they call it construction of possession. Some they might call it, what's the other one that I used last time in the Arabic Essentials course? It was the construct of something. I can't remember what it was, wallah. I can't remember. I like to just understand mudaf ilayh for what it is. Mudaf ilayh, it can have different meanings, but the main meaning is to do qaid. That's the main meaning. To restrict something that is general. واضح؟ طيب. Alright. في عيد الفطر نلبس أفضل ملابسنا ونأكل ونشرب ونزور أصدقاءنا حتى الليل. أحسنت. طيب. Okay, let's do some Quizlet then. Any questions? Sorry, but these kind of exercises, when we write these sort of sentences, I tend to go into many different topics, right? As opposed to the structured grammar explanation that's related to the unit. Mainly because of the many different learning opportunities. So I hope you don't mind, inshallah. Okay? طيب. Let's do some Quizlet then. Who's ready? Let's start with this one, the unit 16, and then after we might do a Quizlet on multiple units. Now, one more thing that we are going to do in the workshop in a moment, which I didn't get time to cover, is the random image word selection. So this week, last week was called What Happened. This week is called What Happened When. Okay? And it seems like there's a problem. I don't know, I'm fixing this. Okay, this jar majroor should say, this should say ظرف You can either use ظرف or you can use jar majroor in order to denote when the verb happened, okay? And I gave you some examples. I'll give it to you in a moment. Let's update that. Where were we? Okay. This is wrong. And this is what happened. This one we have. What happened when? Okay, let's see. So I'll let you do this in your in the workshop, inshallah. So we have the verb, then we have masculine or feminine. Make sure you use the correct conjugation. So يسافر محمد when يوم الجمعة. تحج عمتي بعد 6 أشهر. أوكي ظرف الزمان. سيرى خالد الشقة ليلة الخميس. ليلة is ظرف زمان. When? So all of these at the end, which are ظرف, they're answering the question of when. So يسافر محمد, Muhammad will travel. تحج عمتي, my auntie will do hajj. سيرى خالد الشقة or الشقة. Khalid will see the apartment. All of these three sentences, if we ask when, then this would be an answer to it. Friday, after 6 months, Thursday night, which in Islamic terms is Wednesday night. Okay, because the night starts before the day in Islamic terms. Okay, واضح? So for example, to give you an example, after spinning the wheel, teacher will do that in the workshop. We have يحج محمد بعد سنتين. For example, you know, here in Saudi, you're only allowed to do Hajj once every 5 years. You have to check every year if the 5 years are up or not. Okay, so يحج محمد بعد سنتين, or سيحج محمد في شهر ذي الحجة, which obviously makes sense. You can't do Hajj in any other time. Okay, and I remember one day we were invited at one of my friend's graduation. When he graduated, we done like a istiraha for him. We got people together to celebrate it. My friend Abdul Hamid and one of the brothers, he organizes this trivia question, right? And you know, sometimes when you answer a question, you're not even thinking straight and you're too confident, overconfident. So there was a trick question. Okay, I was actually going to ask you lot, but I already said it's a trick question, so I don't think you're going to fall for it. So the trick question said something like, if somebody is doing Hajj on the days of Ramadan, can he break his fast? And if he's traveling during Hajj, he's actually traveling, he's in a car, okay, in the days of Ramadan, right? He's traveling, something like traveling between Mecca and Medina. He's traveling from Medina to Mecca during the days of Hajj, or doing Hajj in the month of Ramadan. Can he break his fast or something like that? And I really fell for it. I was like, yeah, of course, if he's traveling. But I wasn't thinking straight, because obviously Hajj will only be in Dhul Hijjah. You can't do Ihram for Hajj in Ramadan, okay? The months of Hajj start, you know, from Shawwal onwards. So yeah. So the point I'm trying to make is that يحج محمد في شهر ذي الحجة, of course. يعني. That's how I came up with that example to share with you. طيب. Sorry, I'm digressing there. Let's go to Quizlet. Bismillah. Where did Quizlet go? Huh? Oh, there we go. Here it is. Individuals asking Arabic. طيب. I posted the link in the chat. Everyone ready? We have 8, 9 people in here. There's 13 of you in Zoom. It's quite a few people missing. I'm gonna count till 20 seconds, inshallah. If you're still trying to join, just send a message on Zoom so we can wait for you, inshallah. Otherwise, I'm just gonna click the create button, inshallah, create game button. Okay, so 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's start, okay? Bismillah. 3, 2. Actually, no, I need to create the game first. And then we're going to start the game. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Tigers are ahead. I wonder who Tigers is. Tigers are still ahead. Tigers are still ahead, mashallah. Been ahead right from the start, mashallah, tabarakallah. Tigers in the back. Nah, Sabrin. Hasn't. طيب, let's give another try. 3, 2, 1, go. Tigers are still ahead. Sorry, my commentary is very bad today. Seems like Tigers won again, mashallah. Yalla, third round, and then we'll do a round with all of the words, inshallah. 3, 2, 1, go. Tigers still ahead. Giraffes is trying really hard to keep up, mashallah. So is Zebras. Giraffes make the mistake. Zebras going really quick. Okay. We're going to play with the revision 2 set, which is from last time. Okay? So this is basically from unit 9 to 16, I think. Or 12 to 16, one of the two. Okay? 3, 2, 1, ready, go. Tigers, strong start, mashallah. There's some good competition now, mashallah, tabarakallah. But Tigers are still ahead. But this one seems to be more tense. You clearly see some of you need a bit longer to answer the questions this time around. Okay, I send. Okay, let's do one more round. If the Tigers win again, then we'll go on to quizzes, inshallah. 3, 2, 1, go. I didn't even start yet. 3, 2, 1, go. Tigers made a mistake now, so it's open. Let's see who's gonna fill the void. Okay, giraffes. I think giraffes been doing so good, mashallah. Zebras as well, been working really hard. Nah, Ilyas, Ahsanti Ilyas, mashallah, tabarakallah. All right, so that means we get to do another round, inshallah. We get to do another round. 3, 2, 1, go. Sorry about that, because it keeps freezing for someone. Alpacas doing really good. Ooh, tigers are getting a run for their money. Giraffes are trying to catch up. Tigers made a mistake. Okay, so who's gonna be today's winner when it comes to division? Alpacas or giraffes? Alpacas are out of it. Giraffes, are they gonna do it? One more question. MashaAllah, mashallah. So we got a new winner here, mashallah. Taib, that calls for another round. So we have tigers won, giraffes they won, and zebras. Taib, let's see who takes it home. At least the revision. 3, 2, 1, go. Giraffes, alpacas, and tigers. Or are we gonna have a fourth winner? Zebras are out. Sorry. Alpacas and giraffes are still in it, along with the tiger. Tigers are ahead. Giraffes are close by. But you never know. Don't give up. Anyone can make a mistake at any moment. Tigers are ahead. Alpacas catching up. Tigers in the bag. Alright. Mumtaz. Okay then. Now let's do quizzes then. Okay? We're going to do quizzes. The unit 15 and 16, inshallah, quizzes will be ready in time for revision, inshallah. They're not ready yet. So we are going to do the revision one. Grammar practice revision. 103 questions. I think it's from unit 8 to 12, I think, or 8 to 14, something like that. Okay? So let's start the live quiz. Classic. Adaptive question bank. How many questions shall we go for? I say 15, inshallah. Okay. What's this? Why are you asking me twice? Stay. Ready? Alright, join inshallah. Where's the link? There we go. Use the code. You can use the link. It's not working for me. You're already there. How's it not working? We didn't start yet. Because I'm gonna. Oh no. Did I start? Please don't tell me I started. Oh, thank God. Okay. Ya Allah, you've got this timer, huh? Just counting down another 50 seconds and then it's gonna start automatically. So make sure you join quickly, inshallah. It's frozen. Yeah, maybe it's frozen because I didn't start yet. I don't know. If If you want, leave and join again, inshallah, if it's frozen for you. So 15 seconds. How many people do we have? We only have 4 people. Alright, I had another 15 seconds. People struggling. Are you struggling to join? We only got 5 people. Huh? The code is 610799. 610799. That's the code. Okay. We got 7 people now. I added 15 seconds one last time. After we're going to start, okay? You got 7 people. Yalla. Bismillah. 20 seconds. بسرعة. Okay, got 8 people now. Great. It's gonna start in 10 seconds. Still trying to join? What's wrong, يعني? Why can't you join? What's the problem? Either try the link or the code. Okay, it's going to start, inshallah, in 5 seconds. Allah, bismillah. You can still join after it starts, by the way. Go. Alright, let's show top 5 only. Okay, Elias is on top, closely followed by Aftab. Okay, Sabrine made a mistake. Abu Ziyan took her place. Elias is on a roll, mashallah. Streak 4 correct questions, 5. Okay, everyone else seems to have made a mistake. Please tell me, I think had a few wrong answers, didn't it, last time that I didn't fix? Please don't tell me that's the case. That would be a big problem. There were some answers that were not fixed last time. I don't think I got to it. If not, then inshallah I'll definitely get to it tomorrow. Tomorrow I want to work on quizzes. Tomorrow and Thursday, inshallah, in time for revision. I'm going to go through all of the quizzes exercises, inshallah, from unit 1 all the way to 16, inshallah. Try and get all of them ready. I mean, obviously I'll give priority to 9 to 16, which is for your exam. But then after that I'll do 1 to 8 as well, inshallah. Fix all the questions, add more questions, and from what I gather, most of you love quizzes, so I think I need to give a bit more love, inshallah, and more attention. Right. So if this quiz still has a few mistakes here and there, then we'll just stick with 1 round, inshallah. And it's unfortunate those of you that got something wrong because the answers are wrong. It seems like Ilyas is on top. He did make a few mistakes. Abu Zayan is on a streak for 8 correct answers. If he does not make a mistake, then he will overtake Ilyas. Even if he takes long, I suppose. Because here, obviously, this quiz is about accuracy and it's also about speed. It has both in mind. Yes, I was expecting that. Abu Zayan went on top. Ahsant. Nur Salini joined the race. Still has a lot of questions to answer though. Rumeisa, okay. So these 4 on the top there, they're done, but they can easily be overtaken by other people that still haven't answered. As you can see, quite a few people are still answering. Let's sort by accuracy. This one, 2 of you got it wrong. هل زرت معرض الهوايات؟ لا، ما معرض الهوايات. ما زرته not زرتها. Let me check what the correct answer is. It doesn't show me, does it? طيب. Anyway, I think the race has been decided. Allahu Alam. No, not really actually. Yeah, Amir is done. Rumais has got 1 or 2 questions left. The top 3 has definitely been decided by now. Seems like. Whoa! Rumais went from 5 to 2nd. The last question, mashallah. Okay, so that basically means that those that are still answering do have a chance. We'll give them a little bit more time and see how that goes. I think we have to say time's up. Shuaib is done. Okay, Mariam and Nur Salim have got one more question to answer, which might get them to the top 5 and it might not. No, it didn't. It did not get them into the top 5. Type. So we can end inshallah. Tell me in the chat actually, were there answers that were wrong? So Abu Zayyan is first, followed by Shuaib. Shuaib became second, mashallah. I didn't know that. And then we have Rumaysa. Were there answers that were wrong, by the way? Please tell me. The toughest question seems to be this one. انتقلت الشركة إلى جدة. One person said انتقل الشركة, which is wrong because of agreement. شركة is feminine. And 3 of you said انتقلت. لا, انتقلت means I moved. انتقلت means I moved. It's انتقلت الشركة, not انتقلت. You're not the one that moved. It's the شركة that moved. The شركة says 2 here. The شركة is فاعل. So انتقلت. Accuracy 20%. Unbelievable. I didn't expect that to be the most difficult question, to be honest. The longest question that took the longest for you to answer is this one. Kem. So this one is wrong basically. It's meant to be thoban. This is one of those questions that were not correct. So yeah, please forgive me. I'll make sure that is ready for next time, inshallah. Khalas, now we'll break up for the workshop, inshallah. Are there any questions? No questions? طيب, inshallah. See all of you in the workshop then.